tiny little house too. To imagine that whole family was squeezed in there. Yeah.
Parents.
It's much smaller than our house.
Is it still a newspaper building, like still functioning?
Yeah, I think they still have stuff there. I think they moved some of their offices out of there. A lot of people picked up and just left Gary. There was a lot of just moved to Maryville. A lot of people moved to Crown Point. They built up Crown Point. This is Palace Theater up here. You know, quite a few people have performed here. It's all abandoned. You can find pictures of it online on the inside.
Some of these places, when there's enough sunlight, are fun to go into. Just climb around.
The abandoned buildings?
Yeah. Like that Methodist church over there, that was like I've gone in there.
We can drive by City Methodist. That's the old post office over there.
It's not the post office anymore.
No, it's abandoned now. We could drive past that if you want. This is Broadway. Up here is the Sheraton Hotel that's been closed down. This is the Genesis Convention Center.
How often do they host events there?
They had a like a semi-professional basketball team playing there for a while. The place was never really properly built to begin with. It was one of those just big federal grant projects. They were hoping to spur the downtown growth here, and it's a very inadequate place, even though it's somewhat useful, just because the facilities, there's not enough bathrooms and everything for people. Up here is Steel Yard. That's the home to the minor league Gary Railcats baseball team. That was a more recent project they built. Drive past that. This is 5th Avenue. Those are all the steel mills up there to the north. Back that way. Drive by them in a second. It's a lot of this section of the city, the houses that are still standing have been taken care of, but the ones that were let go are torn down.
So these vacant lots may have had houses on them.
There's a beer bottle in the middle, or a wine bottle.
Wine bottle.
And a lot of these, what were you saying?
So these vacant lots may have once been occupied with a house or something, but...
Oh yeah, these were probably all filled in at one time, like as dense as this here.
Yeah, you see how close some of these are? It was probably all like that. But you look how much they've just been let go.
Yeah, if you go look in the old city directory, you'll see the addresses laid out where all these empty lots are.
And
houses.
there hasn't been a motive to build here, obviously, because there's a negative real estate value.
There is some construction, but it looks like it's all subsidized stuff.
Yeah. Oh, shit. That's the other thing, the roads aren't very good. There's lots of potholes. So. think the post office is back this way on Massachusetts. And all this was built up at one point. Most of it was buildings. There were some parking lots in here, but so much of this place here, it's fallen in. I think the roof's caving in, but we're still trying to hold it together. Right over here, right?
I think straight ahead.
Okay. I'll take a drive past that place. That's another ruin porn site. A lot of people like to go in there and take pictures. One thing I think is popular for a lot of people to do is a lot of bands like to come and take pictures inside these places. Because some of them have just been let go since the 70s, like City Methodist Church. It closed up in 73. And then, I don't know when the roof went, but pretty much when the roof went, that was it for a lot of the inside.
A lot of these are popular for photographers. They just want to take pictures of stuff that's ruins. One of the things that's kind of neat I noticed in there is some of these buildings, people will take pictures and then they will get the prints, and then they'll put them in Ziploc bags and come back and stick them up.
The pictures?
Into places where they took them, yeah. They hang them up in there.
No, this is Washington. This is City Methodist Church.
Yeah. You find some of those kind of pictures in there. There's no fence on this side, at least.
Yeah.
I've spent some time looking down through there.
And technically, they don't want people trespassing, but it's sort of like how are they gonna force that on here?
I think you can actually get a photography permit from the city. I did. Yeah,
this is the Genesis Center in front of us. And then Lake Superior Court behind that. The dome. And then,
yeah, I had jury duty there and they never paid me.
That's U.S. Steel to the north. Did you try to get your money, or?
I need to try again. That reminds me of it.
You should. This is beautiful downtown Gary, Indiana.
I really didn't go out searching for the worst parts of Detroit, but this seems to be about as bad as anything I've seen so far.
Yeah, this is an example of kind of a post-apocalyptic world in some ways. You see how much is just gone.
I think some of this has been emptied out for years.
Yeah.
One stupid urban renewal project after another.
Or there's some, looks like there were cops outside of that nightclub back there. Just sitting on security. And you got the 24-hour
Payday loan.
And you can look at old pictures of downtown Gary. It was a bustling city 40 years ago. Even if at that point it was starting to go, it starting to shrink. A lot of people were moving out farther out to the suburbs.
Population is currently?
I think it's between 79 and 80,000. It's a rough estimate. I think it was just a hair over 80,000 in 2010 when they did the census. But a lot of people have left since then. Although I think some are starting to come back. It's really going to be probably a couple decades before most of the city really sees any revivement.
Well, I think once they finally give up on urban renewal projects, then things will actually turn around.
Yeah.
They aren't going to fix it. They've had half a century to do whatever they're going to do, and they've just made it worse.
Well, it sounds like it's to a point where, I mean, the properties are literally abandoned. Nobody's taking care of them. Just let them. Can they be homesteaded?
Yeah.
There's police.
Yeah, there's cops over there, it looks like.
Well, when they're totally abandoned, as far as title goes, I guess you couldn't just homestead it, but you would probably need to buy the tax lien on it. Just cancel out the old back taxes.
A lot of these places, they still tax them at what their last value was while somebody still wanted it.
And it was highly inflated.
Yeah.
That's what makes them totally unusable.
In some ways, the designs of the buildings and the zoning, it's very different than Maryville and Crown Point. Much more the city design. It's obviously just gone pretty much to waste at this point. What street is this? This is 20th or 19th Avenue. I'm trying to get to like 21st up there. Yeah, usually after windows get smashed in on a place, people go after scrap metal, copper pipes, even wires, all kinds of stuff. And then they, after they strip the metal, they take whatever else they can get of value. Sinks. I've seen cabinets ripped out of places, bathtubs, toilets, just about everything you can imagine.
Where are they getting value for a used toilet that they ripped out of an abandoned property?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe they've got some use for it.
I think sometimes with the toilets, they just smash them out to smash them out.
We got a Gary police behind us. So
That should be Madison.
This is abandoned. Or maybe not, but it
looks like it was a
images of
repurposed building. This is Theodore Roosevelt High School. This is 22nd place. Jackson.
Right here.
Is this it?
Yep. Nice new fence around it.
23rd Ave in Jackson. This is 2300 Jackson.
This is this small house here with the sign in front of it.
Michael Jackson's home.
Definitely much nicer landscape than it was even growing up.
I'll take a spin around the block so we can get a look at it.
Do you know how long the sign's been in the front yard?
Pretty much a lot of that was put up. Well, all of it was put up after he died.
Yeah, his house. The house there wasn't much. The yard wasn't much different looking than the rest of these places along here.
They're just a small, tiny little house.
It wasn't that even clear if there was anything different.
They got a dumpster on. There's one next door. Yeah. Probably renovating it.
Yeah, I was wondering about those. They might want to use those for something else.
Yeah.
Because they have a similar sign or similar fence.
It's a very well manicured place.
I was at Pork Fest when I heard that he died.
Everyone was at Pork Fest when they heard that he died.